Wagwan, are you there? What's good? And you know who this is, baby. The #1 podcast in America, dedicated to all you kings and queens of color, homies and homettes, shotters, woo gals, G-boys, and charges. The one and only Jerk Jollof and Collard Greens podcast.
What's good, and welcome to episode 16 of Jerk Jollof and Collard Greens podcast. I'm your host, Broda, aka Chunky, coming with you today's panel discussion, the Bro Code. Since the dawn of time, bros have always had a code that they lived by, died by, and cried by. Today, we'll let you into the bro's nest to see as professionals get down. A quick bro disclaimer: it's about to get weird. Anyway, but before we delve any further, if you aren't already a follower or would like to learn more about the show, major announcements, and stay up to date on the latest offerings, then definitely check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at JJC Podcast for information and content updates. As always, we do our roll call. Mr. Damn, look good in all that bro jello, D Black.
Bro. Stop with the jello.
In your buckets, Francis.
What it do?
The franchise.
What's up, y'all?
Bro finished Book of Truth. Dre, dunking on Dre.
The Celtics lost.
Oh gosh. We're not doing this.
Jiggling Gigolo. Glenn G. Bro Ransom.
Oh, Wagwan, are you there? What's good? It's your boy G Ransom, G_Ransom on Instagram. Check me out and thank you.
Find him.
Yo. So I got a story for y'all. So I was out today and I was looking at my ankles and I was like, yo, I'm done. I got ashy ankles right now. I was like, then I started laughing. I was like, I don't want to be like my cousin. It's like, anybody got lotion? Anybody got lotion? It was like, give me some lotion now.
First of all, that was one time.
Lotion, yeah.
Because he wears pants every day now, so you'll never see the ash.
It only takes one time.
No ashy ankles over here, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking about my cousin the whole time. I was laughing. I was like, give me some lotion. Yeah.
I was gonna say you used to grease from your lips to put on your ankles, you'll be fine.
Yeah, why you do him like that?
That's, hey, you know what? Shout out to freaking Carmex, man. They
ain't paying us yet.
It's all good. They just got some free. It's ads. It's all good.
That's funny.
All right, this episode of Prep Yours is dedicated to Burrito, a Black-owned and operated Tex-Mex style brick and mortar and food truck vendor, specializing in burritos and tacos and occasional specials such as the lobster roll. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. They cater as well. Visit their website at burritosfoodtruck.com and view their calendar to see where their food trucks will be set up for business. Online ordering, delivery, and pickup, taco kits and merch. I heard, Glenn, you've had some burritos from this place?
Yeah, best damn burritos I've ever had. Shout out to Burritos because they out here in Jersey. They got 2 food trucks and a brick and mortar. Absolutely love them. Thank you.
Cool. Brick and mortar is at 137 Main Street in Hackensack, New Jersey. So if you're visiting the tri-state area or New Jersey, be sure to check this one out. Once again, their website is BRORITOSFOODTRUCK.com. Not that I had to spell it, but I enjoy spelling things. Anyway,
check them out on Instagram too.
True. Thanks for the follow-up, Glenn. I appreciate that.
No doubt.
We're just gonna roll into it. Have you ever lived your life by the bro code? Bros before hoes.
Oh, damn. We spilling all the secrets today. I feel like that's a dangerous question to ask, right? Because it's like, you got the dudes, they have their hands on their ear like, you better say it. You better say bros before hoes. But, everybody either got, married or got a woman and they're like, you better not. So I don't know. I feel like it's dangerous because obviously, in the simping society that we live in, everybody, if you do anything for a woman, you're a simp. Or if you put a woman prioritize a woman at any point, you're a simp. But you know, growing up young, I mean, as a young dude, I was about my bros, you know what I mean? Because they were my homies. They held me down. They're the ones in the panel. They still here. You know, so all the chicks, you know, that maybe I had messed with in the past, a long time ago, you know, they all fell to the wayside. I mean, but I still got one chick, but she ain't a hoe. So at the end of the day,
So you're saying the women before your wife now were all hoes?
Oh, wow.
damn, y'all see, I thought it's so crazy because I thought I was real smooth and navigated all the way around that. And
Nah.
avoided that.
Oh.
No, sir.
Nah, but I mean, I think, well, I won't say it's bros before hoes, but at least, you know, the ones that stay around, you know what I mean? And if, you know, when you go into even a relationship with a person and you know, full disclosure, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, this and all that stuff, these are my homies, you know, some people fall off, even some homies fell off, but at the end of the day, my main homies are still here. So
is it bros before hoes?
I feel like I'm not going to answer that question.
Let me jump on that one real quick.
Simp.
Because I kind of got a take on that one too. I mean, I never really understood the concept of bros before hoes because it's just like, to me, it was a little misogynistic because are we really labeling all women hoes in this case? So I never really. Yeah, it's very, because it's just like, honestly, it is misogynistic. Honestly, I don't put my boys in the same categories as hoes. That's first and foremost. You know what I mean? So it's just like that never related to me. And then I don't consider all women hoes. If that is what the definition of hoes is, then nah, women are not hoes, essentially, in my case. So I just kind of feel like the relationship a man could have with the women is probably the most sacred covenant, because through that relationship, they were able to create us, right? So it's kind of like, you know, basically the two don't calculate, in my opinion. So I've never followed that guideline. I mean, I do feel like, you know, there are certain things that men should honor amongst themselves, of course, you know, that's why we have the commandments, but it's just like, and that applies to everyone, but a bro before hoes things never applied to me. I just don't understand where it comes from, honestly.
I mean, I think the bro before hoes, it's more of a single guy terminology, right? You don't, I mean, obviously when you're married, you know, you don't, I mean, one, your wife is not a hoe. And I think that conversation doesn't even apply because when you get married, your family comes first, right? But bros before hoes, I think it's amongst like your boys, you guys are single, you know, and, you know, maybe one of your boys is stuck on the side of the road and you go, let's say you went out with the boys, you know, you trying to like, I like this chick, you know, I'm not saying this girl's a hoe, but I'm just saying like, but the point of that conversation is just don't leave your boy stranded because you're trying to chase a tail. Like, you know, that's one of the main point of yo, get me home first. Then maybe
so
you can go chase that girl.
Like,
don't, yeah, like
basically.
remember, I'm your boy. I should be important. We came out here, get me home safely. Then you could go back and chase the tail, bro.
You just got to take a loss for the team.
Well, I mean, sometimes, I mean, that's where we have to have that conversation, set the rules. Like we going out. I might split at the end of the night. Y'all.
So it's talking about the bro code here. So
yeah,
we'll get into that.
Like, you know,
I can speak to that personally.
Set the parameters.
Before you do,
you know,
I want to hear Dre Padres.
yeah.
Say
Oh
this.
man, I'm gonna be the very boring, bland. Like, yeah, I don't really subscribe to that thing. Now, if we're talking about just general rules of not, not putting my boys in the, now I'm not gonna, if let's just say before, let's just all have this in the frame of like before we were married and all that stuff. So I think that's a very easy frame to have all this in. Because well, are you really single? The last podcast we learned you were leaked that your woman is, according to the government, single. Remember facts. She added that caveat to
federally, I'm single. Yes.
Yeah.
But then you just popped a question on the last podcast.
Whatever floats your boat.
Technically, yes.
Either way, you kind of
did not. You did not.
In a glam way, you did.
I think I saw her look at her finger and say like, "There's nothing there." So.
Oh man!
But it's all about what's in the heart, not on the finger.
Dre's not about the bros right now.
Oh,
man.
All right, let's get back to Dre.
Look, man, I'm keeping it a buck. I know that that's something that that would only help his life. Only got to meet her that one time, so it would be something that would make his life better. So I'm holding my bro accountable. That's what I think bro
I
code
like
is.
that. Okay.
Holding
Bro
him
code number
accountable.
one.
Bro,
You
trying to
know,
make it a
but
better
I'm not going to be in a situation where, like, if let's just say I'll use we'll use fictitious people, right? Let's just say I have a friend. I went out to a bar with my friend, and let's just say I know he has a girlfriend or a wife, and he's cheating on his significant other. I'm not going to tell his wife. Like, it's not going to be my first thing to run back and tell her of that, right? I'm probably going to have a conversation and be like, yo, what are you doing? You're being sloppy. But if that's bro code, then I guess
I
guess
just straight up just punch him in the dick.
but I just
But
know,
you're trying to but you're ultimately and I get that. You're holding your bro accountable by having a conversation with him, but it's not your place to step into their relationship and start having a conversation with his.
But don't put me in the situation where I have to be weird, right? Don't have your wife calling me. Don't have your wife or your partner calling me looking for where you're at, and put me in a situation where I have to, have morally, conversations in my head on what I say, right? So that's another part of bro code is don't put me in a situation where I have to lie on your behalf.
Oh my god!
Wait, hold on.
So
would you lie? Would you lie? Exactly. Would you lie for your bro?
Would I lie like what? And say
on
what?
the bro code.
Anything.
Say
on the bro code.
Say like,
call.
Johnny. Yeah. I just left Johnny right now. Would I say that?
Yeah. She like, he said he was hanging with you. He's hanging with Dre. Padre. Okay.
Well, that was horrible. Was that your Spanish accent?
Terrible.
No, that was just me being.
I'm offended.
Myself.
I'm offended.
My bad.
Offended.
All right,
You're canceled now, D Black.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
But
man.
seriously,
I don't know. I'm really bad at lying with stuff like that, right? So if she says like, "Hey, were you out with, Jonathan last night?" If Jonathan didn't give me the heads up, I may say yes or I may say no. I mean, I try to not lie.
So it depends on the tightness of the broness.
So let's clarify this bro code thing, right? Because it seems like no one really like cares too much for it. So like the way I look at the bro code is it's like the code you have amongst your friends, and your friends should be like straight up tight dudes, right? Mm-hmm. So like the bro code, like everyone in this panel right now, we have a bro code in the sense that hold each other accountable professionally, like personally, and it goes into like, all right, if we're gaming, if we're hanging out, if we're making financial moves and stuff like that, like, okay, we're hanging out, you're getting drunk, you're getting sloppy, in the sense that you're going to ruin your professional career by acting up in this club or this bar. Sit your ass down and shut the fuck up, and that's it. So the bro code doesn't have to be like what we see on TV. The bro code could be basically what we have amongst each other now. Right. So we can actually establish the bro code between us, and I'm pretty damn sure that we have a bro code established amongst us and how we move forward. If we weren't all moving in the same direction, I don't think we would be tight. That's to be honest.
So I can actually speak to the bros before hoes situation, and I guess it would say that I somewhat subscribe to it, but I don't deem women hoes. But here's what happened: I was with my fellas. It was a group outing at an undisclosed location in an undisclosed town. Because I know I got a lot of undisclosed. I got in trouble for telling this story last
time. Getting sneaky. Let's go.
So I mean, it's at the end of the night. Everybody's ready to go. I drove to the location with my bro. Got him there. But I met someone that night, and she was like, "Yo, listen, I want to take you home." Like, said it straight up. I want to take you home. So I was like, "All right, let me think about this." I'm like, so I went to my boy. I was like, "Bro, listen to the situation I'm in right now. I got a lady here telling me that she wants to take me home, but I'm well aware that I brought you to this location and you have no ride. Uber didn't exist then. None of that existed then."
Right.
Taxi?
I mean, Will Smith took a taxi from
keep going. Keep going.
We're about a good 45 minutes away. You drive to where we need to get back to. So I'm like, I said, what would you do in this situation?
Yo.
So I just had in my mind, whatever he said he was going to do, I was going to do the complete exact opposite of what you
said. Oh my gosh.
Yo,
So he was like, bro, do what you gotta do. So,
That's a bro.
thank you for that answer. Sorry, young lady. I'll have to recap with you another night. I'm taking my boy back home.
yo.
Wait,
yo,
why were you doing the
I'm-
opposite though?
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
Why
so
were you doing the
confused.
opposite?
Wait,
Mm.
why couldn't you take him home and still like?
You don't miss
Well,
out on the
What
opportunity.
about you?
Well,
Why
take
couldn't she
the-
just come
you
with
take your
you?
car?
Here's the
I'm
ringer.
confused.
I told her that straight up. She was like, I guess I'll just have to call my other friend then.
Damn.
So I think I won in that situation.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Um,
Okay,
True,
so
true.
I mean,
so
but, like-
I have a story just like that though. But this
Yeah.
time, so we were in Florida, and one of the homie met a girl, and after the guys we left, went back home. We stayed in Orlando, and we were in Clearwater. So just imagine, just like a 2-hour drive.
Mhm.
And the one of the homie met a girl that he wanted to keep kicking it with, and the guys was like, "Yo, we are about to leave." So my boy, so they ended up actually the girl decided that she's gonna drop him off the next morning. So we were able to like do the bro code thing, like make sure we didn't leave him, but we actually did left him. Because he was like, the girl says, "We got you." She's like, I got him. I was like, fine. Well, well, good luck then. And he made a decision. I thought it was funny. I was like, yo.
And I
But,
thought
yeah.
about that too. Like, why didn't I just drop him and come back? But after she told me, I have to
I mean,
call
but
my
like
other
that wasn't
friend.
so that wouldn't even been a conversation. If she told you that from the jump, it's like your decision was already made before you even like approached your boy.
Facts.
So there was no point of like, oh, I gotta adhere to the broker. Like, no, like if she's gonna call another friend,
Man,
skedaddle.
I would have
But-
just gave my boy in my car, like, yo, here's my car, go home and come pick me up in the morning.
So you're telling me if a chick told you to your face, like, if you're not gonna do it, I'm gonna call someone else to do it, and you would have been like, oh, man, I need to do this.
Yo, man, some men about opportunities and
Yo, I'm just saying, like,
Wow.
before that conversation even happened,
You're-
he was like, I want to take you home. The first thing I'm going to think about is, okay, how can I make this work? And I'm going to the boy, like, yo, here's my car keys. Get home. Come pick me up the next day.
And the delegation
Yo, we keeping it
agrees.
real. We keeping it real right now. Okay, come on, y'all.
That's a real experience, man. So, hey.
I guess that's bro code. Is we came out the gate saying there's no bro code. Now we're just establishing it. So I'm just confused at this point.
no, but that's the thing about
Yo,
the bro
I
code
said
is that
there
it's
is bro
unwritten. It's an unwritten
Okay,
rule,
okay,
But when
okay.
but it triggers in your head when you hear certain scenarios and you be like, oh nah, that's how I do it. That's
Okay,
how
so
I
what
do
are
it.
what are some unwritten bro codes?
All of them are unwritten.
None of them are
I mean, I
written.
said, I
Yeah,
said
because-
one. I said one. You don't. Yeah, you don't. I guess tell on your bro, right? You don't.
Yeah, no snitches.
I
get
think that's
No
a-
snitching.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think that applies to everything. But yeah, specifically to that, yeah, you don't want to tell your. That's why I have like a rule whenever anyone I'm cool with dates anyone in like the friend circle, we have that conversation. Like, look, man, like
Don't
don't put me in this situation. Yeah, don't. You you got to have that. That talk. I think that's one of the big ones for me. I don't know.
I
So-
guess here's one too. You can't date your bro's sister, right?
I was
Like, you
literally about to
don't
say that.
Date your, and I mean, I think you don't even need a law for that. It's just like, you're my. I mean, things could happen. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
looking
it
at.
happens. It
I'm not looking
happens.
at D like, oh, I want to get one of those sisters. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
But like, so my thing is like, if you're a stand-up dude and
Yeah.
someone
they like
your
you.
best friend's sister reaches out like, hey, like you're a stand-up dude, your best friend knows you're a stand-up dude. I can see that as a true benefit in the sense that I know you. I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're about, and you're gonna do nothing but positive things. So why wouldn't I
also
push
a
that?
negative,
Yeah.
'cause
But,
Yeah,
you
here's
I
what-
mean-
but that's
know
where
what I'm
the
about.
but hold on, but that's where the bro code triggers, because even though you could be Obama, but you still gonna talk to your homie before you approach his sister.
Yeah.
I'm might get
No,
a pass.
I'm not saying like no.
That's what I'm saying, because but that's what I'm saying, and that's where the code still stands. Where in
Mm.
your mind you're like, I really can't holler at his sister, but we have a connection, we got a vibe. Let me at least go talk to him
Yeah.
before I go, talk to his sister. The same thing is like you talking to his ex, and I also want to say like the bro code is not just for dudes; it's also females. Females got their own kind of guidelines
It
which
won't
they
be a
hear.
bro code. It'll be a girl code.
Hey,
whatever they decide to call
Scarface killed his best friend over his sister. So let's keep it real.
Okay, but this
All
is
right.
this is a man high off of cocaine.
I
I don't understand.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It was
That had nothing to do with the drugs. He
he
was
didn't
sneaking
want-
behind his back. He told him. He
Making
said,
deals.
leave, not her. Leave her
Yep.
alone.
Yep.
He told him this
Yep.
when he was not on drugs, right? There was that famous scene where Manolo first saw his sister and he was like, not her. Leave her alone. He made it clear to him.
He broke the
The
bro
line
code for
was
sure.
drawn. He broke all
it.
bro codes and,
Yep.
and his penance was death.
I mean, but like if she pushing up on him and she's like, you know,
It don't matter.
Like,
bro.
I guess you gotta think too, like,
Ultimate
what if you
violation.
break up with the sister, and how does that impact your relationship with your boy now? So it's like
That
kind of like
part.
when you date your friends,
That
like
part.
you're aware that, okay, I have a lot at stake. Like, I'd rather not risk my friendship with my boy, you know, over something. And then, you know, just if you're gonna do it, just make sure you're marry that girl. That's all I gotta say, because
Yeah.
you're gonna lose a lot. Like, don't treat her as, okay, I'm just gonna hit it, and you know.
But
whatever.
what if what if the sister breaks up with your boy? It's just like, nah, I don't.
I mean,
wanna be
the
with him
same
anymore.
same rule
Part of the
apply.
risk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
same
why
rule
they.
apply.
I was
it's
gonna
like
ask
the
Deep
rule
like-
is like you don't shit.
I was gonna
where you
ask Deep,
be.
like, you had the inverse of that. So how was that situation? How was your now wife and
Oh
her
man.
and her friends? How was that like
All the
dynamic? Are they
stuff.
still close? Like, was that weird? Like, what was
My
that
sister
like?
listens to this podcast, bro.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I don't want to incriminate nobody.
Nah, it's all good. You know, so I mean, that's a really good question though, because like, so my sister and I, we actually kind of wrestled around it a little bit to the point where I didn't realize how much of an impact it played, you know,
Yeah.
in our relationship after that point. You know, we were able to really talk about it, and she was like, yeah, that it did kind of feel a certain way, and it's crazy on my part that I never actually had a conversation with my sister before I moved forward. And it's so crazy how, like, with her, she was like, if you just had that conversation, we probably would have been straight. And I was
So
like,
you broke the bro code like the brother code.
yeah, I broke the actual brother code.
Broke the sibling code.
the bro sibling code, bro. I smashed that thing to bits. She was like, but you know, we're able to talk about it. I mean, but it's like later on, it's like we talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, she's good. You know, it was like we're getting married. She's like, okay, then you know everything's good. You know, but it actually had an impact. So yeah, so I think that's where it stems back to. You know, if you're not gonna go all the way, if you're not serious about that, it's not worth it, because it's definitely gonna have impact on the relationship you have with your bro or that person. You know, but they may not disclose it to you, because it was like many years later, like 10 years later, my sister finally said something to me. So I was like, damn, okay.
Facts.
So here's another thing. Speaking of like bro codes, is there any point where you can break them? Like, does it have to be like you're saying the conversation, like we're agreeing upon as this group of bros that we're breaking this bro code, or you're breaking it and it's okay? Or do you have an understanding with the bros where it's just like, in this situation, it can be allowed to be broken?
Yeah,
Man,
go ahead.
don't break no laws around me. That is the one thing. I'm not gonna go to the police on you, but don't put me in a situation where, like, you know, let's just say if we're in a car together, right, and you got something illegal in your car, right? Don't put me in that situation, because I'm a civilian. You know,
Dre's gonna snitch. Like, yo, he got something.
you can call me
Yo,
a snitch.
Dre is
but I'm
telling.
telling you,
Oh,
He shot him 5
man.
times. He shot him 5 times.
that is not mine.
Damn.
That is not mine. I'm telling you right now. I wouldn't put you in that
So
situation.
you have a limit.
Don't put me in that situation.
You have a limit on what you're willing to snitch on.
Yo, Dre's gonna be
Damn,
pointing like
son.
it's right
Look,
there.
I'm a civilian. I got a family. You feel me? I got a family.
But hold up. But
That's real,
actually, to Dre's defense,
That's real.
part of the bro code is not to put your bro in bad situations.
But we're breaking that.
No, all right, but then, so then that bro broke the bro code, so he retaliated
Is
by
he-
breaking the bro code.
You shoot
So now
somebody
it's so-
in front of me. I'm talking like they talk on First 48. Yes, he shot him. Like he
So,
did it. I'm
if you
sorry.
tell me-
I
would
have cell
eye
phone
in
records,
this
the text
situation.
messages, the phone calls. I got you.
I got you.
Damn.
I'm not saying I'm going to the police station, but I'm just saying.
You just said
don't put me
you'll
in
be
a
like first
situation.
48. Like you gonna show up. Like I know
Yo,
you looking for.
I ain't doing
my
nothing,
phone.
Dre,
Here's
man.
everything he
Look.
did.
They snitching on my ass.
Yo.
Don't commit no
Dang.
crimes around me. That's the one thing. That's the one thing where I think I'll let a lot of other stuff go past. Like whatever. If
I
you're
mean, but
cheating
like,
on
what if?
somebody, I'm not gonna tell you. But when it comes to my freedom,
Okay,
I
let me
will
ask you
only
this.
be
Let me ask you
accountable
this.
for what I say and do.
So we
And
get
you
into
should
a
be
fight.
accountable for what you say and do.
Oh,
What?
We get into a fight,
Yeah.
and I knock this dude out, clean
Yeah.
out. He hits his
Yeah.
head. He ends up dying from a
Yeah.
hemorrhage or whatever.
Damn, you on your own, bro.
So like I defended myself. So you're gonna go to the cops like, oh yeah,
will
Chunky
say-
killed him.
No, I would say he defended himself.
But why can't you use that if I start a fight with somebody?
He's not gonna not say anything. He's gonna be quiet. He's gonna make sure
Yeah.
he separates himself from that situation.
I'm just,
I'm-
yeah,
I'm
I'm
with
just
that.
saying, it's just not my thing to.
So you
just-
telling me if I throw a punch at someone, you're not gonna throw a punch and ask questions later? That's not it?
Wait.
that's a good
Now
question.
you adding all these extra
Wait.
scenarios.
I mean, that's part of the bro code, right?
I'm saying,
You
it's
gotta
bro
follow
code,
up.
right?
You got
If
roll
gotta
up.
follow
I
up.
throw a
Now you
punch,
added all these
you're not
extra
gonna
scenarios.
you're not gonna throw a punch with me, or you're gonna be
Why don't
asking
you get a
questions
fair
later.
one? You should a fair one.
I
believe
mean,
in
you should
fair ones
know,
rules.
like in
Oh,
the
man.
bro code, you should know which one of your boys are fighters or not. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, I think as a bro and as a friend, you should be like, bro, you may not want to take this one because you're all gonna have to jump in on this one, and I don't feel like fighting today. So it's just like, to speak to someone's point, like, yeah, a part of it is knowing who you're rolling with too is very important because
Mhm.
you can
That's
usually
facts.
avert a lot of situations by carrying a smart crew with you, because a lot of things you shouldn't have to deal with, and some things are unavoidable, yes, but knowing who you're rolling with can also help either escalate or de-escalate the situation too.
So you
Yeah.
telling me if I want to wreck somebody, you want to tell me no?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you no.
First, I will tell you yes, don't, because there is a lot of situations.
I'm like, why?
where
Why are we doing
somebody
this?
punches someone and they hit their head in a crazy way and they die. So like, yeah, I'm gonna always tell my
doing
boy
time.
to like don't use
All
violence.
right, cool. I'm
unless
gonna
if
take him
forced
to the ground. I'm gonna put him in a guillotine so he doesn't hit his head on anything. He's just gonna pass out.
Asphyxiate him to death, and
He's just go limp. I just need you to stand there, like,
Yo.
give me the eye contact, like, yo, he's passed out. Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna let go.
I
All
just
I
want to
know
say
is-
something. When it comes to the bro code, see, it's funny because we're talking about the bro code and then the unwritten part, and then when people break it, that's when you start losing bros. When they start breaking the bro code and you start bouncing them because they break the bro code.
But it's
too many
unwritten. So how
times.
do I know what's bro code or not?
Oh, and then that's when your bro code meter is broken, because the average bro code, dude, they know. Like you get that sense, like, oh, like did I do that? Why did I do that? How's my boys gonna perceive that? Like, how's that gonna affect my relationship with my boys? Like you don't even need somebody to tell you, to explain to you, yo, that's a bro code thing, bro. You can't do that. Yeah, you don't need all that explanation.
That's
Just
why
be a
it's-
decent person.
Facts.
We can put it in this bro code category, but just be a good person, man.
Person.
It's as simple as that.
Man,
So-
it's
Be a
not
decent
that
person.
simple, Dre.
It's not that
It is.
good.
It absolutely is.
No,
So
it's
so to
very
Francis,
simple
it's just like, if you
respect.
need me to follow up, I'm there. Just point
Yeah,
him out.
thank you,
Just
Chunky.
point him out.
Yo, all I gotta say is there was a time.
It's a fair
There was
one.
there was a time at a point where my girl came to me, she's like, this guy just called me a name. And the first thing I thought about was I'm about to knock this dude out. And I went there, I got 5 dudes surrounding me, and I was in front of this dude. And all I know is 5 seconds later, I had a bunch of my boys right behind me, ready to go. That is my bro code.
Like, your bro code versus
That's
his
a
bro
way
code.
different
Yeah,
situation. That's
like,
a way
we
different
going-
situation.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I'm
but,
saying
like-
my point is, if I throw a punch, I need y'all to throw it with me though. In that
That's
scenario,
I mean,
y'all like,
I
You
would
blood, so I ain't gonna
I-
leave you hanging.
I would say, like, I had an instance with D Black where I called him and was like, yo, we rolling, and he just rolled. Like, and
yeah.
it much didn't have to be explained. Like, once again, understanding who we are and who I am, I was just like, yo, we gotta go to this place, we gotta do some things, people won't get hurt. He's like, all right. He showed up.
I mean, but
Was,
yeah,
But
was he
that's
the voice
D-Black.
was he the voice of reason in it? Yes, because there was a situation where, like, I
And
turned
we
to
have
the
a
dude.
conversation afterwards, and that's my approach.
Yeah.
Though.
We
But-
had a conversation during. Remember that?
Why are we
Dude
doing
was
this?
standing in the closet
Like, what are
talking
we doing?
shit.
Why are we
And I
doing
was just
this?
like, yo, let me just hit this man real quick. He's like, we're not here for this. We're here for something else. I was like, if I hit him, he's
Yeah,
not gonna
that's
know what
funny.
happened. He gonna wake up the
Yeah.
next day.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
a brand new man.
there's a truth to, like, the older we get, the more mature we are in the way we know how to handle stuff in this
Mhm.
escalate situation. But like, when you are growing up, man, we kind of learn as we grow. Like, we had a conversation about, the last podcast about like parenting and stuff. It's like we sometimes just figure things out, man. And if you have to throw a punch a couple times and let dude know, like, don't say that to me again, they want to do that next time to somebody else.
I just need to do this. If I buy a bicycle, I'm just like, yo, I want you to be on the front handlebars and we're gonna roll down the street. Don't ask me no questions. We rolling.
So my question for that then, that's probably D Black maybe 10, 15 years ago. How would D Black today now handle that situation?
That's a good
versus
question.
D Black from 10, 15
That's a
years
good ass
ago,
question. That's a very good ass question.
Really nothing to lose. I mean, I know a Nigerian's always got something.
Always got something to lose, bro.
But I mean, like, to speak to Francis's point, like the maturity, and I can speak from experience as well, where I was in a situation where, a relationship was at risk. And it's like the first thing I went to my boy and I was just like, yo, listen, here's what's happening. And disclosed that with him personally to get his feelings on that situation. And that had nothing to do more or less so with bro code or acknowledging a code. I just felt like it was inherently the right thing to do, looking at what was at risk and what was at play. And also making sure I know what was happening, getting his feelings on the situation. So I think that's just something as an individual you just have to have inherently. And that's going to impact your relationships as well.
Maturity, whatever.
No, and I think
I wouldn't hit him up for doing like reckless stuff. Well, let me correct that. Depending on the level of recklessness will depend on whether or not I'll hit him up. This is like there's some things that's just like, yo, this is truly reckless. I'm gonna seek counsel before I make the decision. There's some things where it's just like I'm going to go do it, and I know not to bring you in it because it's a very dumb idea. Nonetheless, it's just like, yeah, am I going to go out for a fight over something senseless? No, I'm more mature from that. But granted, if I call him about a fight, he'll know my level of maturity. There's a strong reasoning behind it because it doesn't happen as often as it did 10 years ago. Yeah. So then there's an evolution of the bro code.
That was exactly.
So let's be real though. Like, I don't know too many grown men that has stuff to lose riding to go fight someone. I mean, we don't even do that anymore, right? Or are we still doing that? Are people still doing that? No? Is that, I don't know.
My cousin lost. He's like, do we fight? Do we even fight?
I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't fight, man.
No,
we still do that.
You'll see a lot of examples of people losing things, bro. It's insane, man.
I mean, self-defense.
We having a conversation. You telling me, okay, what is going on? Is this the only thing that we need to do? We have family. We have mortgages.
Yeah, we have a job.
Like is this really where? Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm 1,000% sure. I'm 1,000% sure this is the decision I'm going to make. He slapped my wife on the ass, called her a bitch, and said, "You ain't gonna do nothing about it."
Well, then if it happens while I'm there, then I got your back, bro.
Yeah.
If you throw a punch, I'm throwing it with you.
You'll see all those calls get forwarded to voicemail.
you're not like you said. You got to know your group. You're not the fighter in a group, so it's just like,
calls me 2 times.
My thing is, I gotta be there. I ain't riding to it, but if I'm there and it happens, I'll join in. But if I gotta drive, my common sense will kick in, and I'm like, no, that's probably not the right thing to do.
Listen, I ain't gotta be there. I know if you call me, it's that deep. So I'm rolling. That's it. And that's the trust and the faith in my bro's level of maturity. I'm not gonna ask you 110 questions. I'm like, yo, I need you here right now. Like, okay, on my way.
That's a good point.
This is a beautiful podcast. Everybody got opinions.
Yo, I mean, I think so. Even with Glenn, you kind of dropped it on me too. That's actually a really good point because, like, I don't know if everybody ever has this realization, but for me, I feel like the me of younger days and the me of today would not get along at all. Like, he'd be looking at me straight up, calling me a bitch, and I'd be looking at him and I'd call him a delinquent. Figure your life out. We would not get along. And it's funny because, like, so in that, like, Chunky, I mean, he knows me. I'm still ride or die for the most part, but I'm always ride or die with rationale. Like, let's have a conversation about this, right? But I'm still gonna ride, you know what I mean? But it's funny now because before it'd be like, oh, maybe the conversation will happen like on our way there or after the fact, why did we just do this? You know. But nowadays, it's like we'd have to have the conversation first, and it will always start with the conversation. And then I'm all about like trying to de-escalate verbally as much as possible, you know, versus trying to get the fisticuffs. So I think the bro code does change. Yeah, it definitely.
I count
changes.
my fists as words.
I mean, it's a powerful tool right there, bro. But I think, yeah, ultimately the bro code does change because as bros when we were younger, it was all about ride or die. We're out here, you know, it was no questions. But as we get older, I think even like across the board, and it's not something like a conversation we had where like, hey, today I think the bro code needs to be different. Non-violent bro code. You know what I mean? It just became to the point where we all matured, you know, we grew families, have equity in something, you know, have decent records. I think most of us got clean records.
Right.
So I mean, we got stuff to lose. And once we all have stuff to lose, the bro code is like, all right, bet. All right, we're gonna hit this man with lawyers. You know, what he say about your wife? All right, I got a lawyer for you, bro. I swear, I would slam him with suits.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna need that in the back end once everything's said and done. So here's the thing for y'all. So, what's your opinion on these 4 mandatory things to respect about your bro? 1, his parents. 2, his house. 3, his car. And 4, pretty much his partner and his spouse. Like, what's your opinion on that? Do you agree with those things? Can those things be shifted or broken? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. I think anything with the word his in front of it automatically gets my respect. Because again, I'm a very territorial man, so I respect another man's territory. You know, so if those are that's his woman, that's his car, that's his house, those are his books. You know, whatever be.
I feel like there was a meaning behind that comment.
Anyway,
all 1 million of them. All 1
million books. I'm gonna respect it because that's him, and then ultimately in my respect of him, also because if he's a part of my crew, my people I roll with, my panel members, it's not even gonna be. I mean, mind you, I respect the average man just because I feel like men should respect other men. But I know the kind of echelon of people I roll with, so I put even a higher level of respect on it. So anything with the word his in front of it automatically gets my respect.
Yeah, I will second the possessive pronoun usage and agree and corroborate to it. I concur with D succinctly. Yeah, he hit it on the head, man. You got to respect that possessive pronoun. His, hers, it's theirs. You got to respect it, no matter if it's material thing, bonds, same way that you would want your items respected. So treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah, man.
Anybody else with anything different?
I mean, yes, for bros, but I think probably in general, if I'm in someone else's house, even if he weren't my bro, I'll be respectful. If somebody's disrespected me, then I will just leave.
So you can't Rick James it? Like couch got here.
Nah. I know it's funny too, but I'll always be respectful of someone. So even if it's not my bro, I think I try to make sure I'm always carrying myself with a certain level of decency, whether it's my bro or not. Now, if it's someone else's significant other acting crazy, then maybe me and the gentleman need to have a conversation, right? So I'm not going to argue with a woman, right? But maybe his partner needs to in the famous words of this one guy, Merry Fistmas. Maybe Merry Fistmas needs to happen with a partner of the person.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds
Merry
funny.
Fistmas, like Christmas.
I heard fist. I heard fist, and I'm all about it.
Got it. There's a key word, fist.
I was gonna throw it back at you. You don't argue with women. I mean, it's equal opportunity. It's 2021.
Yeah, 2021. I'm all about that equal opportunity.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like for me, I'm 6'4". Like I'm gonna be yelling at a woman. Like I don't know. Like,
what is she 6'5"?
Whatever you got it. Like whatever you got it. I'll move on. Like I just don't see the point in it. Like what's gonna happen, right? Is it gonna turn physical? Like am I gonna what's the point, right? Like to me, I just wouldn't personally.
I mean, she may have an opinion in the state, and she wants you to hear what she has to say. I mean, I don't think it will turn.
Yeah,
like I don't look at it as
to me to
like.
not hear.
negative. I look at it as like she wants to say something to you, so it will be like a deliberation back and forth between whatever y'all are talking about.
That's assuming it's a sophisticated conversation. If it at any point devolves from that level of sophistication, Dre, he can say the meekest thing. He's gonna come off as the aggressor. So I mean, I'm all about that. I know I said the 2021 equal opportunity, but yeah, if it's a situation like that, I'm out.
I thought you had my back. You just broke the bro code.
Nah, I'm gonna have your back by pushing you out the door. Let's stop wasting our time with this.
Yeah, I'm not going back and forth with no caring about like whatever because we're in Starbucks and she wants to like we're not having a conversation. Like I'm going about my business and
Facts.
I'm not gonna allow
facts. No facts.
That's a bro fact. Yeah, that's a bro fact.
Facts.
You ain't gonna be talking. That's a bro fact too. You're not gonna be talking to no woman crazy in front of me either. That's bro code too.
Yeah,
right?
true,
Don't be
that.
disrespecting women or children in front of me either. That's part of the bro code.
That's a really good bro code too, because that's very true. Because brothers will like you start yelling at like, yo, bro, calm down.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. We will intervene at some point.
I guess so. So here's
So
a
you like, nope.
I'm equal opportunity.
Time will tell.
The way I look at it, like I completely agree. If I'm having an argument and it goes left, you're gonna have to walk out. Even if it becomes physical, then you have to manage that. Like I've been a bouncer. I've been hit by females. Have I punched a female back? No, I don't think it's necessary. Have I restrained a female or like baby shaked her? Yes. It's just like it's a way to like, okay, you need to stop what you're doing because you're intentionally being the aggressor towards me, and I have to like actually establish that I'm not the one to take this, and being verbal is not going to be it. So Merry Fistmas to your ass real quick. Speaking of which, so have you ever looked bad at any talent or sport to make your bro look better than you in order for him to get another woman?
Nope.
Damn.
I wouldn't do it, bro. I'm too competitive. I hate
You're not a
losing.
wingman? You're not a wingman for somebody? Really?
Well, a wingman is, I mean, we know the question is a sport, a competition, like some kind of like, but if it's a wingman, it's different. I'll wingman out of being.
But isn't that being a wingman though? Like you're like souping your bro up, like, yo, this dude, he's 5'2" and he just dunked on me.
Well, no, now he's definitely losing if it comes to if it's shooting hoops. No, I mean, no, like if it's like an actual, because I hate losing, especially when it comes to like same sport like that. I'm taking that shit serious. I'm sorry for cursing, but I'm trying to win. But what I do is how I like build him up, talk him up, you know, like let the girl know like how nice of a catch she just got herself, you know, like amazing man, and like kind of list out some of his accomplishment and assets, you know, if he has rubber waistline or whatnot, I can add that in. You know, but if it's about losing, no, I'll be like,
Man,
yo, that's a little too much, bro.
You ain't a true bro.
Wait, question.
Nah.
Because in my understanding of the
I agree
bro
with
code,
Francis.
when it comes to like two bros, you're pursuing one chick, I thought you just back off. Like both of you just have to say, well, I guess you want her, and we both just take the L.
I guess it depends on the chick, right? Or the
female
aspiration. If it's
So
like
if you're-
Rihanna, you're gonna say, nah, bro, I'm gonna take a L on this one. You can have it.
No,
No, I
for
said
real
like you
though,
both
I
take the L. Like since you both take the L.
one person always got to step back because I did that a lot in college, you know, or even older, you know, when one of the homies like a girl and I was like, yo, I'm kind of feeling this girl too. You have to take a step back and let
you rocking
whatever
Nah,
plays out.
Nah.
Football
No,
going.
that's what you have to do.
You both
Like,
shoot your
one
best
person-
shot and see who she takes.
Well, sometimes that is the case too.
But with Francis is gonna be super competitive. You're gonna trip you on a basketball court for him to look better.
Well, we're not gonna play sports for the girl. We're gonna
this
talk
ain't
it
love and
out.
basketball.
This is like who got the strongest game, like who got the most
But shouldn't
How
it be on
easy-
par? If that's your boy, weren't you going to teach him the certain ways in order to spit proper game? So you're intensely
Oh my
sabotaging your
God.
man.
No, what?
Because you
Alright,
ain't teaching
well,
him.
Every
I
man for
can-
his own, bro. Stop
I
it.
agree with Francis, so I can add to it. Like, no one should be in the business of making their bro look bad. Like, it should just always be uplifting and loving on your bro and just showing all his good characteristics. And if you can help him, I'm the most critical person probably in this group. So it's just like, and I'm
That's an
probably very,
understatement.
yeah, I'm very competitive as well. Yeah, I see you on the sticks. Like, I'm gonna probably smack you a couple times in the game, but I'm gonna teach you how to get better if you want me to teach you how to get better, at the end of the day. But just know when it comes to the competition, but at the same time, like, no one should be trying to make the other bro look bad. So in that situation, like, if we were to provide a solution, like, okay, both of you are aspiring for the same young lady, then it's like, all right, maybe try to find a way to agree on yourselves that, okay, is it really worth the squabble? Flip a coin, rock, paper, scissors, like, I don't know, or
So
maybe both shoot your shot.
to
But
clean that up, it's just like if you're trying to show off for another female, then it's you and I. For example, D Black's faster than me at running. So I'm just like, all right, homegirl's hanging out. I'm trying to impress her, and I'm just like, yo, just lose this one race for me. That's it. So you're telling me you're not willing to lose that race in order for me or your boy to be able to hang out with that woman.
But maybe she's more complex and not impressed by how fast I can.
yeah,
run.
maybe she likes slow
Yeah,
guys.
but
I don't
one-
know
God,
the
like,
One,
situation
that's-
is.
that's
Stop
the
being
name, bro.
cerebral and just answer the damn
Bro.
question.
But, all right,
No,
I guess I'll
man,
answer. I could just
lame
answer.
as
it,
hell. Why?
Like, I mean, it's a weird. I don't know. But if I were to answer the question, like, if that's what she was into, if I see my boy really likes this young lady, or if that's what he aspires for, then fine, I'll lose the race, and hopefully he gets his shot. And if it works, it works. But it's like, yeah, we shouldn't cut each other short or be competing with each other on that sense. Like, that's kind of messy, in my opinion. But if that's what it takes, just to get him the chance, then all right, good luck, bro.
Yeah, and I think I hear what Chunky's saying, like, trying to show value of your bro, right? But I feel like, again, I'm just focusing on my bro, on my community, on my people in my circle. They all have outstanding abilities in every area. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's a rubber waistband, man, but everybody got their individual skills in which they exceed in. So yeah, you may not be faster than me, but I would hope you find a girl that likes you because of the fact that maybe
Exactly.
you have a very you're more charismatic, or
Exactly.
maybe you're more artistic,
Facts.
or maybe somebody who likes those type of things. Because at the end of the day, I could lose that race,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd be like, oh, she's like, oh, you're so fast, and then the next person you try to run up against, Mr. Bolt, and that's it.
But like I would even take Mr. Bull. I got my dub. She's happy, and I just move forward.
Yeah, but if she's only she's only impressed by speed. If the
Okay.
individual's only impressed
Super,
by
yeah.
So
come on,
so let's take it there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I don't see the superficialness of that female or that person I'm into, is it your responsibility as a bro to tell me like, hey man, she's not really into you. She's just into this one part of you that's not sustainable.
Absolutely. I think
Yep.
it's super. It's so funny because I know we were talking about this. Selassie and I were talking about this like a few days ago, but I feel like in general, us as people, we don't keep our groups accountable. And I think as men, we need to keep each other more accountable. We need to be able to let each other know, hey, bro, that's not the good situation for you. Like, why would you get involved in this situation? Why would you, invest into that? Why would you chase after this person? They don't want you. Like, but I feel like the passive bro is like, yeah, man, you got it. You go do that. Like giving somebody encouragement into a negative space. Is that truly being a bro? I disagree completely. I feel like a true bro is gonna be the people that are gonna tell you as it is and be like, Chunky, bro, you really shouldn't pursue that girl. She ain't about you. I mean, she already got a man, or she's doing her own thing. She's not really digging you like that. I just think that's really, I don't know. I just think that's really, really important, And then the people that will cut you off because you keep it too real, they're just not ready for that level of maturity. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's true.
Even using the race example, even if you don't lose to me, there's always somebody faster than me or you. So it's just like, why even jump into that situation and be like, you know what, if that's what it takes, I'm not even going to put myself in that situation because in reality, there's always somebody faster if that's what she's looking for. So it may not even be between me and you in that case.
Listen.
What if I lose and she's still into me anyway? Then what's the situation?
Then we figured it out. And
Yeah.
we're looking at it in such a cerebral way and being in our like 30s, and I'm looking at it as like bro code in like the 20s. So
Yeah.
it's a different spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So all of us are married. Glenn popped a question in the last episode.
Technically.
So of course the way we're thinking about it is in such a high level, and my request is to take it down 4 notches and just look at it as simplistic as possible. Like put yourself in your 20-year-old mindset, and it's just like, okay, cool, like I'm sitting here doing these dumb and wild things, and it's just like, yes, it's the woman is superficial. I may be superficial at that point in my 20s, right?
Right.
So at that point, it does make sense to me to chase that down, like literally. And yeah, there's someone else that's fashion me. Right now, I don't care about that. Right now, I just care about that moment to do that one thing or to hang out with that one person for that one night.
All right,
And
but
whether-
even to,
I mean,
Answer's
if
still the same.
you want to get technical, Chunky. So how does, I mean, you have to have a status though. I feel like for you beating me to actually mean something, I must be somebody in that space, right? So am I like a track star or something? Then you actually beat me, then they actually elevate you to a different height, right, in front of her. Because if I'm just some random guy on the street, like just I'm one of your boys, or yes, I'm one of your bros, but like who says like you beating me actually means something? Because what about I'm not quick, you know? Well, I'm just messing with you with that.
Just like, it's all right. I have no answer.
all right,
It became super complicated about something that's just
no, because
I'm just messing with you.
No, let me answer that
No,
because
you
I feel
good,
like
you good.
no, and I think that I think Chunky is indirectly you're bringing up a very good point, because when people hear the word bro code, it's just like, oh, you know, I mean, they just think about it in this. Not saying you specifically, but I feel like in general, you know, it's this, you know, it's not as deep as it is. It's not as, I mean, again, it's an unwritten code, unwritten rules, but there is deeper context to it.
Right.
Even in the example where you requested when we were back in our 20s, between Selassie, y'all both know that there was some relationships that y'all was in. I was like, bruh, that's not a good move. And I told y'all straight up, because that's the type of, but y'all did it anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still hold to that same regard, where it's like, if it's a true bro, I mean, if it'd be different if, I'm gonna be frank, it'd be different if you told me you guys were chasing those individuals just because you're looking for some tail. I'd be like, I bet I got nothing to add, because at the end of the day, you're not looking at it seriously. Hopefully you letting the girl you're not serious about this, and she knows she's not looking for nothing serious. Everybody happy, everybody just mingling and moving on. But because I already knew how deeply invested both of you were with those individuals, there was no situation where I didn't implore you. Like anytime you brought it up, it wasn't me trying to like throw my opinion on you, but anytime you asked me about it, I'm like, yo, that's not the move. No, that's not the move. Maybe you should let that go. Maybe, you know, you're great. You have all these wonderful attributes, and this person is missing it, you know? And I feel like that's the true, you know, the true core of the bro code. Keeping your boys accountable, keeping it 100% real with them. And we've been that way forever.
Listen, man, if I want to sit in my room and turn the lights on and off because I'm hurt, I expect you to be there with me, turn the lights on and off with me, okay?
Nah, I'm not going to turn the lights on for you, but I may cover your light bill while you figure it out.
Thank you. That's it. That's it. That's the more support I need, man.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah. I do agree with my cousin though. I think bro code is so much. I feel like the conversation we've had so far is like some of the basic level. I think there's so many different tiers of it, like, you know. So yeah.
Cool. So question everybody. Do you openly display your bromance?
I did.
What did you do?
I have a funny story about that. So my best friend, it was, you know, shout out to my boy Ben, best man in my wedding. So when we were in college, and a couple years after college, he got a Visa card that had a picture of me and him on it. So like every time we like every time like we were to go to like go grab a drink or whatever, and he uses his card, or we go to a restaurant, and then it got to a point I was like, yo, we're not together. We're not together. And it's like Yo, but it was, I mean, like, but that's how, I mean, the love, like, we just like that was my best friend, and we just got like, we did everything together, and that's kind of like his way of showing his love for me, and I was, like, and we just like showed that kind of love for each other, and eventually I was like, yo, we should probably change that picture, but yeah, but the level of the way you show the bromance does kind of change as you go older as well, right? Instead of doing that, it's like, how often do you communicate with your boys? Are you like super close? Like, how supportive? Like, if they need you, can you step in and kind of be that, like, shoulder for them, stuff like that. So how just for somebody else? I toss it to my cousin.
Well, for me, it's easy to kind of answer this one because I've always had I'm very open with, I guess, how I feel about things. If I have a strong emotion, it's just that's what I feel like showing at the moment. And it's funny because like I've always, growing up in a Nigerian house with Nigerian family, Nigerian background, you always get the mindset that you can't really be like too emotional. You're not allowed to be expressive as a man. I don't know. I think that that's part of becoming a man. It's like you get to identify, well, no, this is what's important to me. This is how I feel. This is who I am. So be it. If you have an issue with it, kick rocks, for lack of a better word. I mean, even in college, I think Chunky might have said this story a long time ago, but I don't know if he did. But like, when we played football together, we were literally inseparable to the point where people thought it was weird. Like, he would stay at my apartment, I would stay at his apartment. Actually, most of the time we stayed at my apartment because you had so many beefs. Always had beef with your roommates. But anyway,
No, because like, remember, Tony was just like, it was Tony and Kareem, and he was just like, man, we only see D-Black coming over. You don't like women? And I was just like, nah, man, we just want to play Halo for 8 hours. Like, that was just our thing.
Yeah, and then I don't know, and I guess it was at first, like I said, even like our group chat too. You guys know, like sometimes I'll put an encouraging message. Like Dre never responds, but I'll be blowing Dre kisses and he's ignoring me. Dre, why you shaking your head, bro?
No, you blow kisses in like a very weird and kind of semi-disrespectful way. You don't do it in like it's always like you'll say something like it'll be like a correction or something, and then like just throw that random emoji. I'm always looking. I'm like,
facts.
I really think he's funny with these kissy emojis that he throws in every so often.
What? I was trying to say that is correction out of love. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yo, that's
so it always throws me off. But it's funny.
Just so the podcast knows. So I mean, like, I'll throw my boys kisses, and I mean, it was funny. I was talking to my dad like 2 weeks ago. And just randomly, and it was actually funny because we have another family member who's from Nigeria, who's like, Nigerian male, traditional. He's still very much in the traditional Nigerian mindset. And I was talking to my dad, and my dad was just saying something. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm proud of some of the stuff you've done." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Dad. Love you. Bye." And I hung up. And I know my dad was probably like, "What the hell is wrong?"
Yeah,
what's wrong with this guy? But mind you, that's not, and that's obviously not what he grew up with too. But I think indirectly, I feel like I want to be able to show other Nigerian men, especially because, like I said, like that's a big part of our culture, that you can be affectionate, you can show your emotion. It's okay, and still be a dominant male role, in your household. You don't lose that. So
I would say,
yeah. I was gonna say my dad is always I guess because my grandfather didn't really say it a lot to my dad, like "I love you" or whatever. Like I think he said it when he was older, and it like made my dad super emotional to hear from. But my dad always tells me "I love you." He's always been like overly almost emotional at some point. So yeah, I have no problem telling my bros I love them. I probably do it in different ways. I probably don't always vocalize it or send kissy face emojis. But yeah, I think there's nothing more secure that you could be in your manhood, right? To, you know, tell one of your male friends that you love them, or, you know, that you're really proud of them, or whatever. Like, I think nothing wrong with that. It should be something that you're proud of doing.
And I feel like we hold value in those things too. When you get, you know, appreciate. I mean, it's one thing for, you know, a random person to tell you, "Oh yeah, you did a great job." Your boss to tell you you did a great job, something like that. But if you have, you know, another male that you admire, you look up to, and they encourage you, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like it further, you know, cements that I'm doing the right things, that I'm making the right decisions, that I'm moving the right way. You know.
I mean,
so I have a question for the group. Is it part of the bro code to shout out your boy, like on social media, for example, like birthday? Is that a must do, or is it like, what do you guys think about that? Like, I love you, happy birthday, stuff like that.
I'll drop one on this one. Well, I've never grew up in a very affectionate household, so honestly, D Black and Chunky were probably the first men to ever tell me that, yo, I love you. You know what I mean? And when I heard that, I was like, what?
You don't say that shit back.
Dead lie. Like, I don't know if it's like growing up in a Jamaican household. Like, honestly, my father didn't really have a great relationship with his dad. And he kind of showed me how to be a man by the things he did and did not do. And not to say that he didn't love me, but the way I was able to show my affection is by support, you know what I mean? And being there, you know, any of my guys, you know, whatever endeavor they're trying to do, I will be there. I will give you my all. So that was my way of showing affection. And, you know, remembering birthdays. I even sent everybody's birthday in the group chat, like, yo, this is when everybody's birthday drops, so nobody forgets. So it's just like, you know, keeping that in mind. And then as time went on, is just being able to open up. And I think my relationship with, you know, definitely Chunky and D Black showed me it's okay to tell a man that you love him, not even in a matter of like sexual orientation. This just felt weird for me because it wasn't something I was used to. So it's not a question of my orientation. So yeah, like there's nothing wrong with that. Love on your brothers, elevate them, especially as Black men, you know, in this country. It's important, you know, to highlight positive things that we have going on, celebrating another year of life, supporting everything that he's trying to do, giving them your best in everything that they're trying to do, and vice versa.
So I'll say for me, I'm going to try to hug you, kiss you, hump you all in public. I am all down for these things to try to embarrass you and show my complete affection. I'll tell you I love you in public. I don't care who's watching. I don't care who's listening. That's just me. Like, I'm going to jump on your back. I'm going to try to give you like a noogie. Like, I'm going to stick my finger in my mouth and try to put it in your ear. Like,
what?
Yeah. So
some garden gnome stuff right there.
That's just me. Like, my bromance is my bromance, and you're very fortunate to see it in person if you ever do see it. So I don't hold back my affection. I was raised in a household where we did show affection on one another, and D Black can tell you and Glenn can tell you, I'm the first one to say, you know, I love you, I appreciate you, thanks for everything that you're doing. I have my like emotional moments, like, hey, I'm glad you guys are around me, it's making me a better person. They're just looking at me like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm not drunk, I'm not high, I'm not anything. I think it's important for me to tell you and affectionately show you that I care for you, and I don't have to do all this masculine stuff to prove that. I don't have to rip the hair off my chest and say, oh, you know, this is a great friendship ever. It's just like, nah, man, like, let me get you something to eat, let me make you something to eat, let me do something that to me show love from my family, and I'm going to give that to you. So that's the way I bromance, and I bromance super hard.
Real quick, let me just to piggyback Chunky, and I think that it's really important that we're even talking about this emotional intelligence and being able to speak your mind and still understanding that you don't lose your identity as a man. You know, because even Chunky, like, I'm not going to talk to no specifics, but even with Chunky, you know, when we grew up, you know, it was weird, I guess, at first, because, you know, I always felt like you had like emotions you were dealing with and stuff like that, and you would never want to disclose them. And it was weird because it's like the hard, I'm gonna punch people in the face bravado that that a lot of people perceive as you is not the real you at all. You're like the biggest teddy bear in the world. This man
And
he's so. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but he's full of emotions and that.
You just blew his cover.
Nah, here's the thing. It's not even blowing his cover because people still gonna be scared. He's still gonna punch you in the
face. Well, y'all, I love
shout
you.
Out to being a hashtag girl dad. I think your daughter has definitely softened you in good ways.
Yeah. Nah, without a doubt. I mean, I think that's a necessity. Just to show people love in general. I don't think enough of that goes around, and no matter what you say as a man, we do need that. And coming from other men, as much as we try to put off this front, like, oh, it's just weird, it deep down inside we appreciate it, because it's like, all right, there's another man that I value that approves of what I'm doing, whether that's a father, whether that's an uncle, whether that's a strong like brother, where it's not even have to be blood related. It's just like, yo, I'm proud of you, I'm glad you did that. And it's just like, all right, like D Black said, I think earlier, like that reassures me I'm moving in the right direction. And then also it's those moments where I may get it from Dre, like, yo, what are you doing? Clean it up, fix it. As harsh as that sounds, it's a good thing that it may hurt my feelings because it shows how much value I have in Dre's opinion. So all this stuff is positive across the board, along with, getting my ass smacked in FIFA. It's not enjoyable, or playing Glenn in any fighting games and just getting whooped around the screen for 20 minutes.
Combo.
Perfect. But at the end of the day, now as we're older, we're going to crack open a beer, just chill, just talk, whatever case may be. And that's what it's all about. Like it's all about maintaining, I think, D Black, you said, your identity and still being emotional and that being accepted by everybody. And it's just like, all right, let's have a bench press competition. I remember like 1 year, I think all of us were together and we were in the gym. It's like, all right, who could do the most of what? I think I like beat everybody out in curls. I think you beat everybody out in squats, and Glenn just outran everybody. And it was just like, this ain't even fair. So, and it's just that part of being men, and we appreciate that.
I mean, Chunky, you said something that was really important. I think part of like the bro code is setting good example for your boys, right? Being a good role model. Because like all you guys kind of talked about, like you were able to learn something, Glenn also mentioned how you guys showed them something. And, and one thing that I also learned from Ben is openly showing affection to your bro, because saying the word, I love you to my bro was uncomfortable as well, because I had the same upbringing as my cousin. Tough, my dad still to this day, still working on that word, to say to the kids, so I really appreciate that, and like kind of stating it's okay for us men to be more affectionate to each other.
It's okay to cry too. I remember the first time I cried in front of D-Bike, he looked at me like I was weird, and just like, it's just perfectly normal in my household. Like, you feel some type of way, it's better out than in, because we have that thing that, oh well, you can't show any other emotion besides anger and happiness, and that's what mentally breaks us down, that we're not able to get rid of those negative emotions and those truly healing negative emotions. Like if I got to cry about something that's worth crying about, let me do it. And I don't expect you like, oh, here's my shoulder to lean on it. It's just like, all right, cool, man, like get it out, let's talk about it. Like I'm here for you. And that rolls into mental health. So for all you dudes or bro code people out there, let your bro cry. It's okay. Now, if he's crying because he dropped his ice cream or his car hit the curb and it's dinged up, I don't know. Manage that at your will, but it's for mental health amongst men. You definitely got to let those emotions out. So here's the finisher for you peoples or you bros. All right. Would you leave your partner or your spouse on your anniversary to hang out with your bros to possibly win $1 million? Now, mind you, you've been planning this thing for months, but one of us calls you up. We're just like, yo, we're about to go on this game show. We need you. What are you going to do?
I guess I'll go. Hell yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm like, baby, I love you, but I got to go with the boys. They need me. Like the thing is like, I think your partner will understand, like you will hope they understand those situations, especially a chance to win $1 million. Like you would think, even something even smaller than that, depending on the importance of that event, because you can move your date, so like for me, so I definitely would, because my wife she's a strong advocate of guys time, because if it's up to me, I could stay in the house by myself. And she actually pushes me like, go hang out with your boys, text them, all of this stuff, So for me, I would think she would understand. I would say, I would definitely bounce for sure.
Godspeed.
I would say no if I'm not guaranteed. If it's not, yo, let's go to this spot and get this million. If it's a chance, hell no, I'm not going, because it's a chance I don't get that million, and then I got to deal with the consequences. I'm very big on plans, as you guys already know, and arranging things, and I hate breaking plans. Like, I hate when people do last minute breaks and things like that. And I feel like once more, the relationship you have with your partner or spouse is like sacred. It's that covenant. And it's like, you just got to recognize that some things, I mean, money can't fix that. But if it's like, yo, we're going to get this million, I just need you to show up. Yo, I'm bringing wifey with me. Like, yo, come on, we're about to get this million real quick. Right? But a chance? Nah, I'm not chancing that.
Yeah, I would say the same. Money does not motivate me in that way, so that wouldn't be the thing to push me. Obviously, if one of you guys were like in a life-threatening situation, then yes. But for something like that, just money wouldn't motivate me. Also, I understand like how important, very similar to Glenn, my wife is really big on. There's only a couple of things that she's very big on, and like anniversaries and birthdays are like those things for her. So I know that wouldn't. I'm sure she would probably say okay if I like said I really wanted to do it. She would probably take the back seat, but I know that would be something that's really important to her. So for me, it would be a no. Just that money doesn't motivate me that way.
Well, for me, I think it's like, I don't know, with any decision, I'll be real, it's probably a little corny, but I'm all about, transparency. So any decision I'm gonna make is always kind of like a group decision. Even when, to be honest, my wife don't like, she just like, do what you want to do. I'm like, all right, don't say I ain't talk to you about it. And then be anniversary day, and she'd be like, where you at? Like, I'm trying to make this $1 million. That's what I'm at. But I think that's always the first part for me. I just kind of make sure that I talk to her about it, because at least 99% of the things she doesn't have an opinion on, or it doesn't really bother her. But at least that one thing where it did bother her, at least I would have known before I made that decision. But then also, like, my wife is very opportunist too, so she might just push me out there to go get it. So
Facts.
real
Facts.
talk. I mean, we know who we marry, right? So
yeah, and then my girl she'll be like, yeah, get your ass over there.
Go get that bread. Come back with that check.
I know, that's why I feel like my girl good just like that. Like, go get us some money.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. Like, if she says like, all right, let's go do it, fine. But in this situation, nah. If I sat down and I planned these things, like I'm going to carry it through. It's those small moments that make your marriage and your relationship what it is, and those sacrifices that makes the change and difference. Like, okay, cool. Like, it's like Glenn's saying, it's a possibility. It ain't for sure. So I'm gonna say, I would happily take that loss and the potential of winning it, than take the loss of showing up at one of y'all's front doorstep with my bags saying that I need a place to stay because I decided to attempt to win money instead of like carrying out my business as like a husband. And
I have
to do that.
To be a devil's advocate here. So do all you guys celebrate your anniversary on the same exact day it is, or does it? Okay, because I know.
Nope.
Well, maybe I'm weird then, because I know you can celebrate the day before, even a week before, or a week after, or a couple of days before, or whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly that day. So if the event with the boys, especially if it's something that's significant, I think the significant does matter. If it's something at that, up to that, just to that level, yeah, I think, you would hope, and obviously there also has to be a conversation. You can't just tell your wife, I'm leaving, and not have that conversation with her. But I mean, for me, I just think it's just kind of like it's just one of those things that like you can move the date. It doesn't have to be the exact date. That's all. I'm just kind of thinking, but it sounds like you guys have to do it on that day. Is that true to say? Is that what it is?
For me, my
Somebody
cheat
say
code has
Francis.
been for me. My cheat code has been I only have one date to remember. It's our first date. It's the day I proposed. It's the day we got married. So I only have one date that I ever need to worry about.
Nice.
So
Strategic.
yeah, that date for my wife is very, very important, and I don't think she would be with the Francis school of like, oh, the day before, the day after, or a week later.
Man, people
celebrate
celebrate Christmas.
That's why it's called. Everyone celebrates Christmas on.
Chris.
No, that's not
25th.
true. That's
Okay, I didn't know.
That's not true because what about if you have multiple, like you got separated, like you have a family, you have to celebrate Christmas with that
Okay.
side of the
Alright,
family.
I got a scenario real quick. So you're
Yeah.
salary man, right?
Yeah.
So you get paid like bi-weekly, once a month or
Yeah.
so. So what if your
Bi-weekly.
boss said, you know what? I feel like paying Francis every 3 months instead.
Okay.
You know, would you be cool with that?
I mean, why?
Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like I want to pay.
No. They can't. One, I mean, why? Question: Why?
It's the
Why
same
would they do
thing.
that?
Like if there's a set day that you know you're supposed to get your check, if your boss said, you know what, I don't want to feel like paying him bi-weekly this time. I want to pay him every 4 weeks instead. You know, would you be cool with that?
I mean, I just feel like this. Well, one, you can't really use that as an example.
You did.
I don't agree with that example,
Oh
though.
man, you ain't answered the question.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Why not?
I asked you why. You didn't give me an answer.
He said because
why.
the boss
said
felt
'cause
like
he felt
it.
like
He
it.
felt like
No,
it.
you can't just feel like it because
But that's your answer.
No,
That's your
because-
answer.
no.
Like I
Because
felt
I'm
like
saying-
celebrating a day,
one-
a couple days later.
Okay,
Is that
fine. You know what? There are a level of flexibility. I'm flexible. If I mean, there are times when I don't get my check on Friday. If it comes on Monday, that's cool.
He's not talking about on Monday. He's talking about 3 months later. What?
He said Monday, Tuesday.
You can't use.
No.
I mean, you can't use checks as a because that's our
Why
social
not?
media. Well, you
It's-
can't
That's important
compare
to you.
a
It's
day.
important to you, right?
Let me
So it
clarify
depends
something.
on
That's fine. That's
Can I
fine.
clarify something? Let me
That's fine.
clarify something because the reason why that example, in my opinion, and why I'm aligned with my cousin, I feel like it don't work, is because again, it relates back to the significance of the event. And you get your check on time on the day of is significant. But if to your partner, celebrating that or that anniversary day on that day is not significant to them, and then you're gonna miss out on an opportunity on something that's not significant to them. That's an L.
Okay, so we all know,
what if
like,
it's significant
It's-
to them?
I think it's
Francis's
the
anniversary
celebration.
isn't significant. Got it.
No. That's not,
Got
I'm
it.
saying no. That it doesn't. The celebration doesn't have to be exactly the day of though. As long as we plan something and we do something with the intent, like this is why we are celebrating this event, whatever the event is. If you're traveling somewhere, if we go on a date somewhere, it doesn't have to be the same date.
So you can
I
do it
don't
3
feel
months
like-
later. So you tell me you can do it
Yeah.
3 months later. It's okay.
Man, bro, I never said it. 3 months. You know, hey, you know what? You could if you get technically you can. You're laughing. Hey, yo. Real talk though. I'm glad. You know what? That's why we all have our own views because
I'm with you, cuz. I hear you. I
obviously-
hear you.
obviously, yeah, one day is that important to y'all, which I'm glad it is. So celebrate
No,
the
it's
heck out of that
just-
day.
It's about what's in,
No, celebrate the heck out of that day, bro.
it's
Yo,
important for you to get your
celebrate.
checks every 2 months.
no,
I've
It's
never
im-
seen Francis get upset
important.
like that.
I'm not upset. I'm not even upset. I'm not even upset. I'm just saying, like, yo, if one date is that important, then do you, baby. It's all good. For me, it's like it's not that exact day. It's not important to me. I don't
Yeah.
think it's
It's the event.
It's not. Yeah. It's actual.
Okay.
It's the actual celebration.
Okay.
You're gonna get paid. You're just not gonna get paid every 2 weeks.
That's not a good example.
Yeah, no, it's not. You can't use the pay, bro. Like, I work my hours. I work my hours. You gotta pay me for
All
my
right,
hours.
look. We can carry this on the next week.
Y'all
But-
trying to trap me.
Look, man, we just playing devil's advocate just like you did. You didn't like it, but
No.
listen
I'm
for
a
more
veteran at it,
content
dude.
or to learn what our next topic is going to be about, please check us out at JZC Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Podcast drop every Wednesday. Stay tuned for the outro coming up right after this to learn additional ways to reach us and to send us your feedback. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. See you all again next week.
Peace.
I love you, D Black.
I love you guys.
I don't love either
Chunky,
one of you.
I love you.
No.
Peace.
Love y'all too. Bye.
And that concludes today's episode, but that doesn't mean the conversation has to end. As a matter of fact, feel free to check us out at JJC Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter for our post-discussion question following the release of this episode. If you are a Black or minority business owner or professional that would like to be featured on the Rep Yours segment of our show, or a listener with some general feedback for the podcast panel, feel free to shoot us an email at jjcpod@gmail.com. As always, likes and comments are always appreciated. Be sure to subscribe or follow to be notified when the next episode releases. And until then, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.